Thank you to all those who are able to make the trip to the land of the upright. Thank you to all of you from Africa and elsewhere, all the businessmen who have set foot on this soil. We wish you a pleasant stay. May this not just be a ceremony, but also a time for forging links and bring a lot of business to our beloved homeland. So before anything else, we must thank God. The first appointment didn't take place. So today, we are here now. We give thanks to God for allowing us to be in good health and to hold this ceremony to appoint the President of the National Council of Entrepreneurs of Burkina Faso. We also pay tribute to our defense and security forces, all the fighting forces who, through their actions, enable us to be here today at peace in communion, shaping the future of Burkina Faso. We are here to encourage you, and we are also here to express our gratitude. As you said, the private sector, apart from agriculture, employs over 2 million Burkinabe, and we can only support them and stand by their side. Thank you all for the support you have been able to give this country through this fight we are waging. Through your various contributions from small traders and small producers to major economic operators, everyone has contributed in one way or another to enabling us to wage the struggle we are waging today. So thank you for all these contributions. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your resilience, because in the context of war, we all know that business is hit to the core. But you continue to resist and support the government in its vision. We can only thank you for that. In addition to our thanks, I'd like to share a few visions with you and some wishes therefore from the executives, so that side by side we can work for the happiness of Burkinabe. If I remember correctly, not long ago, in any case, we made the effort to meet with many of the people who represent Burkinabe entrepreneurs, and in particular the bankers, in August, if I'm not mistaken, where we hoped that we could have a new dynamic and we could have permanent meetings. All this to support the private sector. In these terms, we had expressed ourselves and hoped that there would be proposals in the sense that the government could support the finance sector to be able to create new businesses. All this to strengthen Burkina Faso's private sector. I would like to remind you, dear bankers, that I'm always ready to listen, always, because the government, through me, has expressed the wish that even if the government needs guarantees for certain sectors, for certain projects undertaken by young people, we will do so. We need to find common ground so that you can also carry out your activities without too much risk. So I'll keep listening and hope to hear from you before the end of the year. Of course, allow me to say that I'm not an economist by training, but by virtue of the position we occupy, we are obliged to learn economics, and I know that the economy will only stand up better when we produce locally and stop importing. So I'd like to invite the entrepreneurs here to include in the agenda the strategic plan and in our vision, which is endogenous development, the concept of production. Because we import a lot, and we hope that from January onwards, we will find the necessary formulas so that importers become producers, so that they can contribute to productive projects locally. So what's important is the rice that is being grown. They are preparing to invest in rice production. Is that so? Oh yes. So the big rice importers are here. Because we import too much in Africa. We import too much, so our wealth ends up abroad, where we have land, where we can produce. And as I said last time, passing through the southwest, I took time to go by road to see a lot of unexploited lands. And therefore, I think that according to the statistics, in 2025 we are looking at 100 billion in rice imports in Burkina. This is unacceptable. I think a good economist, you will tell me that it is unproductive, while we have thousands of hectares of land that we can develop. So for someone who now wants to import 10 billion of rice, we are going to force him to put 2 billion into a project where we will employ young people. And it will be the same for most consumer products such as oil, milk, and many other things, to name but a few. And I hope that we can discuss this urgently to find ways and means that will allow us to employ young people and put them on this path so that we can support them. And who say development of the agri-food industry? I can see that in your mind there's someone who's specifically concerned with it. And I hope that we can develop this sector. We must produce locally and also process. All this in the sense of stopping as much as possible, in any case, to reduce as much as possible our import. And it's in this way that we'll be able to create a lot of jobs, and that our economy will be in a better shape. So I invite you to take this on board, so that together we can change the face of Burkina Faso on this economic aspect. Our vision is to bring peace and security to Burkina Faso, and as I was saying, we cannot bring peace without development, because looking or analyzing our conflict, a lot of people are joining these armed terrorist groups or have joined this terrorist group because they have nothing to do. When a young person has nothing to do, he's idle. He can lead any kind of life. And who is better than you to develop Burkina Faso? You've boarded this development boat, and we can only count on you to help us reduce the unemployment rate in Burkina Faso and prevent our young people from getting involved in organized crime and terrorism. We are counting a lot on you so that we can achieve this objective of war and development together. Finally, for the friendly countries of the different entrepreneurs who are able to come here, and for all the businessmen, the investors who have come here, this is to reassure you that Burkina Faso is a privileged destination for investment. The sector is open and there are plenty of opportunities. We are certainly relying on our own resources, but you are very welcome, because there are a lot of things to develop here in partnership with the Burkinabe entrepreneurs. And I suppose that a lot of people are here to weave those relationships. So I hope you have a very pleasant stay, and that you'll be able to do some very good business right up to the members of the government. Of course, for those who would like to get in touch with some members of the executive to propose their investment ideas in Burkina Faso, it's a safe country, a country that keeps its commitment. That is very important. It's a country that keeps its commitments, and it's a country that is fighting to be stable. And even with this message, it's up to domestic investors not to be afraid. Burkina Faso is a stable country that keeps its commitments. So come and invest in Burkina, so that our young people can have jobs and you won't regret it. You'll be very happy and fulfilled in Burkina Faso. In any case, you're welcome. I hope you'll be able to stay for a few more days to be able to build good relationship, and therefore be able to support our Burkinabe entrepreneurs, so that together we can create a better Africa in this difficult situation involving security and food crisis we are experiencing. On this, I'm going to wish a good mission to the entrepreneurs, the servants of the entrepreneurs, good missions, the members of the council, and I hope that the vision of the transition will be the light that will enlighten your future decisions ahead of you, and that these 5 years will be the 5 years of economic transformation of Burkina Faso. Long live Burkina Faso entrepreneurs, long live Corporation of Africa, fatherland or death.